right, guys, let's see what this 86 Capri can do. What's going on, everybody? I'm here with my good friend Nate, and today we're going to talk about his 1986 Mercury Capri. Now, Nate, I don't really know much about these cars other than the fact that they were around when the 4i Mustangs were around, so you're going to have to help me out a little bit here. What years did they make the Capri, the 5.0 Capri?
5-liter Capri was, or foxbody Capri was anything from 79 to 86. After 86, due to lack of sales, they kind of they chopped it and it became a 2-seater 4-cylinder sports car until I want to say 92, 93.
Okay, so 86 though was fuel injected, right?
Correct.
Just like the Mustang.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
And essentially is, you know, I think in 86 your Mustang GT fully equipped came around like $12,000. This probably came in because Mercury was, you know, the more luxurious brand. It came in right about, with the options, this one had about 14,000.
Okay. Now this is obviously not stock.
No.
So let's just talk a little bit. You know what? Let's just start from the beginning. How long have you owned this car?
I've owned this car since December of 2015. I actually got it in Toledo, Ohio.
You did all of the work on this car, right?
Minus the paint and body work,
Okay.
absolutely.
And just a little backstory on Nate, guys. If you like my car, this is the guy that built it. Top to bottom, Nate's the guy that built my car. So if you haven't checked out my car, go back and check one of my old videos. But this is the guy right here. So, all right, so let's talk about the motor here. Is this a factory 302?
This is a factory 302, but it is out of an 89. Essentially, if you have an 86 fuel injected motor, you have a flat top piston, can't put a cam in it, nasty emission, reduced E6 heads. So this actually came out of a very low mileage, I think 19,000 mile, really clean notchback. So
okay.
I did a little trading, and pretty much everything else on this car is used, reused, recycled, traded, you know, just the way it should be. But
Right.
it definitely, it's a short block 302.
Okay.
It's got
what kind of heads are on here?
just regular TrickFlow 170 Twisted Wedge heads. It's got a TFS1 stage cam, and you got your overly ported and overly polished GT40 Tubular Intake. That is that's gonna be my 401k when I retire.
Now,
sell that.
yeah, now a lot of people talk about the GT40 intakes, the tubulars, saying that they're obviously not the best flowing. This one was actually ported though?
This one's ported. CFM wise, it should flow the same as a stock Holley System X out of the box.
Oh, great. And I see here, obviously you've got a Vortech Supercharger.
Yeah, nothing fancy, just a V3 SCi with upgraded pulleys. I got rid of the 6 rib, went to an 8 with a 3.12 upper with the 687 lower.
How much boost?
It makes on the tune it's at now, it makes 9 pounds. The car puts down 403 real horsepower,
okay,
which is perfect for a cruiser.
Exactly. And guys, if you see the car, this is daily driver.
So, yeah, it's a little dirty.
Don't poke too much fun about the little bit of dirt underneath the car. I owned an 85 GT, you know, the 4i GT. So the first thing I kind of noticed is that the front bumper and the grille, obviously, are quite a bit different than the GTs were.
That's true. Other than that, your main exterior differences are the fenders and the quarters.
Oh, really? The fenders and the quarters are different.
Look.
Oh, I see. Wow. Yeah, they kind of bubble out here a little bit.
Which is really nice because I can happily fit this 245/45 front tire and this 275 in the rear without any real modification.
Look at that. Okay. And obviously the quarters here are different. So actually quite a few differences that I wasn't really aware of. And this is probably the biggest difference here. Love it or hate it, it is definitely very unique. And you know right away this is not a Mustang.
Yeah, I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with the bubble butt. Hence the reason why it's got an ASE McLaren spoiler on it now to kind of just help the lines of the car.
Sure, sure. All right, guys, what do you say we take a look inside the car? So, Nate, did the Capris actually come with these seats?
Absolutely. Essentially, anything you get in a GT, you're going to get in this.
Okay. I had actually my first car that I bought when I was 18 was an 85 GT, and exact same interior, obviously, except for the steering wheel over here.
Yeah, I hate that.
Now these are Dakota digital gauges?
Correct.
Okay, so that's the only thing besides that and the stereo that's not really, you know, factory correct here. And we'll get a look at these gauges when we go for a ride. Very clean. All right, guys, let's talk about suspension and brakes. Nate, what suspension, what do you got going on here? Because knowing you, I know this car is not stock underneath.
No, it's definitely not. It's got full frame Maximum Motorsport subframe connectors. We got road and track lowering springs from Maximum Motorsports. We got lower control arms from Maximum. It's got Bilsteins on all four corners. And the brakes are kind of interesting. Actually, it's for the front, it is an 87 to 93 stock spindle and caliper assembly. Nothing special. If you come to the rear, though, one of the nice things about buying this car was the actual person I got it from had a Ford Motorsport M2300K rear disc set, and that's actually a 93 Cobra setup from at the time what was what's now Ford Performance was Ford Motorsport back in the day.
Okay.
So it's got a 93 Cobra master and booster, and the car stops wonderfully, and the best part is I have hardly any money in the braking system.
Nice. All right, so we talked about the suspension and the brakes here, but what about the trans? What is it a stock T5 that you got in here?
It's a 3550. It's got some goodies in it. I recently rebuilt it. It's got a ProMotion clutch in it. I don't know if you ever felt one of those. Wonderful.
Okay.
I mean, absolutely wonderful, especially for street driving. Nothing special out the back. Aluminum drive shaft, and the rear end is nothing more than a completely stock diff. It's got a 373 in it that the original owner put in when he got it off the truck in 1986.
Okay. All right, guys, what do you say we go for a ride? What exhaust do you have in here?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's old school, just first generation Mack catback. You know, it's got the detachable tailpipes that bolt onto the rest of the system. And other than that, it's pretty simple. It's just short tube, equal length headers. I'm sorry, unequal length headers.
Unequal, okay.
No spaghetti garbage here. And it's an off-road H-pipe. Other than that, it's
sounds great. It really does. All right, guys, let's see what this 86 Capri can do. Woo! Woo!
You know, the best part is you can cruise this car anywhere. Like I said, I put almost 1,000 miles on it this year. I had AJ, Joe Cook, he tuned it.
Joe from AJ Performance.
Yep, Joe from AJ Performance. Yep. He does a fantastic job, especially, this one was a little grumpy, you got to remember, this is an old Ford Racing A1250 harness with an A9L computer and an SCT chip.
Right.
This one's still old school, and, she runs great, she idles great, in the cold starts, heat soaks. I've had zero issues. Joe is the man when it comes to that stuff.
All right, guys, Joe's actually the guy that tuned my car as well, Joe from AJ Performance. So if you're noticing a trend here, Joe tuned my car, Joe tuned Nate's car, and Joe tuned Mario's car. Anybody in the northwestern Chicagoland area, Joe from AJ Performance, you got to check him out. All right, guys, before we wrap up, I got to show you a little something here, because that Capri and the old 86 over there are not the only cars that Nate has in his garage. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek. We'll do some videos on these later when the weather cooperates. But take a look at this.
Now, I'd like to note, this red GT is my wife's car.
This red GT is Nate's wife's car. And look at that. Nate, now tell me a little bit about this car. This is, how many miles on this car?
Just over 40,000.
40,000 original miles on this car. But this car is not stock.
No.
And that's all I can tell you guys. Sneak peek on this one. Beautiful car though. This is original paint, right?
Mostly.
Mostly original paint. All right. Now, I can't wait to do a feature on this car, Nate. You want to tell me just what year is this car?
This is a 93.
A 93 notch. Look at these wheels. And guys, you can guess this car is not stock either. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap things up. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you have any questions or comments about the car, please post them down below. Nate and I will do our best to answer them for you. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.